Hey yo, how you guys doing? Do me a favor before we get started on this whole thing, right? Subscribe, like, or hate, and share this video. Um, we're trying to get our numbers up. Thank you very much, and enjoy this broadcast. All right, let me ask you this, Chaz, man. When the last time when you personally seen a teacher teach, and you actually paid attention to how many students the teacher taught and how long she taught? When was the last time, Tash, you actually took a tally on how many people a psychiatrist or a psychologist helped? Because you can't keep a tally on the work of a psychologist because a psychologist's work is confidential. And that's the same thing with if a Umar Johnson is counseling someone's mother and their child together. That's confidential. So you can't take a tally on any psychology or psychological work that he did because we're talking about confidential stuff. So you can't. It's not fair to try to take a tally on the kids that he educated, the parents that he counseled, the children that he counseled, because that's something that's completely confidential and that's not even privy. You understand? We don't sit around in a like a operating room type spectating room while a psychologist has this patient in there and a whole bunch of people are sitting back watching. Oh man, that was a good move right there. Oh wow, he really told him how to solve his anger problems. That's not something that we done. So it's not even fair to try to take a tally of the people that he counseled or the parents that he counseled. That's not even fair.
But that's exactly what he does. Umar Johnson pulls together these things, these meetings, and 40 or 50 parents will be there, and he talks to them as a collective group. Now, I'm not saying that he doesn't do individual sessions or private sessions, but the public speaking that he does is based on that model of him going and speaking to large crowds, and then these crowds, paying him, giving him money. All of that is not predicated on something of substance. Because, for example, you said that you support the theme of Pan-Africanism. I like to do a little bit of that because that's something that I feel has been hurtful to us as Black Americans, and people like Umar can seize on that and then keep selling us something that's not a reality. I don't view Pan-Africanism as a reality. I view it as a way to keep us distracted from America.
So you know what? Give me. I heard you saying that, right? I think I heard you saying it on your on the clip that I watched. Expand on that when you say that you think that Pan Africanism is a distraction that keeps us from America. Please expand on that, please.
Okay, so historically, from the beginning of the time when slaves were being counted in America as this country was trying to grow itself, they were talking about sending people to Africa. And so you had a group of Black people that wanted to go and a group of Black people that didn't want to go. The ones that didn't want to go had been pressed upon for 100 years to go before Marcus Garvey started this Pan-African movement that actually gained steam. Pan-Africanism didn't really gain steam for the first 100 years until Garvey came to America, which started giving it light. So after him, what I'm saying is our understanding of the continent was taught to us in a way where we would revere and love Africa as opposed to learning your history in America and trying to be a benefit to yourself and your people here. And so it's more of a distraction from growing here because you have a desire to grow somewhere else.
You know what? I think I agree with you on what you just said there, right? And again, because again, this doesn't have anything to do with my understanding of Pan-Africanism, but I think if I'm understanding you correctly, I think what you're saying is Africans who live in America, we have a right or a stake in this country because our ancestors built this country for free. And why leave a country that our ancestors built for free to go back to Africa? Are you saying something akin to that?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, I feel like you feel, so I won't even bother to debate you on that because we feel the same way on that one.
But now, Umar said that position is divisive. And see, he said that position, the ADOS, the FBA, the claiming your American nationality, that all of that is divisive because we're supposed to be rooted in being Africans as opposed to being Americans. So he calls the movement to accept your American nationality and move forward based on that. He calls those movements divisive.
Well, the only thing I can say is this, Taz. I agree with Umar on the things that I agree with him on, but I'm not going to agree with him on everything. And when it comes to something like that, I can't agree with him on that because, again, for me, I believe that our ancestors built this country for free. No, I believe it's a fact that our ancestors built this country for free. And I believe that we have as much stake in this goddamn country as anybody else, in fact, more. So again, for me, that's not a point that I'm even willing to debate with you because, again, I feel as you feel on that.
Right. And see, okay, and so that's what I'm saying. So now let's go back to the school again. So if the school is teaching Pan-Africanism and you're teaching American children this, that means you're further propagating the idea that people who want to see something happen for Black people in America are wrong because we're supposed to be moving our ideology, thought process, money, and efforts, labor, everything to the continent. That he's pushing that having an American position is something wrong with that. That's what
you know what? You know what? With that right there, I don't personally, right? Now again, I haven't heard Umar say this. I hear you saying you said it, and I'm sure if you heard him say that, he might have meant it. But I don't think that Umar was in Umar preaching Pan-Africanism. I personally don't think a man like Umar Johnson would be willing to say, well, let's give up our stake in America when our ancestors built it for free. I personally can't see a man with his type of commitment to Blacks around the world, but particularly to African Americans. I can't see him wanting to give up his stake in America. So that's my position on that. You know, I'm sure he probably said something akin to what you're saying, but at the same time, I'm fairly certain that Umar Johnson wouldn't want Africans or the descendants of Africans who built this country for free to give up their stake in America. That's my comment on that.
But see, that's the thing. If you're pushing back against the notion of being African, he's saying that that's divisive. That's because even the language you're using, a lot of people are not receptive to that language anymore about being Africans in America. And so as he pushes that onto people, he's again telling Black people that you're African when in fact you're American.
Well, maybe Umar Johnson had a headache when he said that, sir. Maybe he had a headache when he said that. You know, he probably had a headache or a toothache or something when he said that.
But even now you saying it though, that we're African.
I'm saying what?
That we're African.
No, sir, let me tell you something. I'm not gonna get caught up on terminology. This is my position. My ancestors, right? My ancestors, your ancestors, the ancestors of people that me and you know that look like us. We built this goddamn country for free. And my position is, now we ain't talking about Umar Johnson, we're talking about me. My position is we have every right to this goddamn country and more because we built this goddamn country for free. Now that's my position. We're not talking about Umar Johnson, we're talking about me. So that's where I'm at on it.